morning, Mark Soderberg with ADM Investor Services with your morning ag market update. Happy Friday to all. A quiet trade overnight as traders brace for today's USDA production and WASDE data. Corn, beans, wheat, all within a penny or two of unchanged, while meal is backed up about $2. Bean oil up 35 to 40 points. Expectations are for corn production to come in just over 16.5 billion bushels. That's down about 225 million from last month. The average yield is expected to slip to 186.2 bushels an acre. Still a record, however, down from the 188.8 last month. My production forecast is a bit lower at 16,410 million, average yield of 185. I've got old crop ending stocks slipping 20 million bushels to 1.285 billion. The average trade guess is looking for about a 5 million bushel increase. The average estimate on new crop stocks, that's just over 2 billion bushels, down about 100 million from last month. I'm looking for a much lower figure at 1.815 billion. Traders also eager to see what the USDA does with Brazil's old crop production forecast. Yesterday, CONAB raised their estimate to nearly 140 million metric tons, while the USDA is still way down at 132. If the USDA comes anywhere near that CONAB number, look for a lower U.S. corn export on the new crop balance sheets. Soybeans, average trade guess on beans, 4.270 billion bushels. That's down about 20 million from last month. Yields are expected to slip to 53.3. Still a record, however, down from 53.6 last month. My production estimates a touch lower at 4.260 billion. I've got old crop ending stocks at 315 million, down 15 million bushels on slightly higher crush and exports. I've got new crop ending stocks at 275 million bushels, also 15 million bushels down from 50 million from last month. Finishing weather, not that favorable across the eastern corn belt as warm, dry conditions look to extend into late September. Only rain of significance in the next week in the northern plains and far western corn belt. Drought conditions have been on the rise. Corn up 4% last week to only 13% in drought. Beans did rise 6% at the 22%, while winter wheat areas in drought jumped 4% as well, that up to 38%. A lot of factors that could impact agricultural prices this fall and winter are kind of shaping up in this late October, early November timeframe. The Supreme Court is expected to hear arguments on whether the use of tariffs by the Trump administration is legal. Soybean bulls are also hoping that President Trump will meet with Chinese President Yi sometime this fall to carve out a trade deal that would include a resumption of them buying U.S. soybeans. The window for them to purchase U.S. soybeans continues to shrink. Also at stake is whether the EPA will be successful at reallocating some of these biofuel gallons that were exempted from small refineries, reallocating those to some of the larger refineries. D's corn hovering very close to this 420 range. Key resistance just above the market. Last week's high, 424 3/4, and the 100-day moving average is now down to 427.5. Support is at the 50-day at moving average at 413.5. The Buenos Aires Grain Exchange is forecasting Argentine corn acres will rise nearly 10% this year to 7.8 million hectares. Plantings just underway at 4%. Nove beans holding just above its 100-day moving average at 1030. Longer-term resistance 1062 3/4. October oil is closing in on its high for the week at 51.54. Meal stuck between its 50-day and 100-day moving averages. Buenos Aires Grain Exchange sees Argentine bean acres slipping 4.3% to 17.6. Not much excitement here in the wheat market. Continues to trudge along just above its recent lows. Nice recovery yesterday. Really no follow through overnight. Thank you for listening, everyone. We'll be back with the USDA updates at 11.